and gentlemen, once again, it's that time. Time for the Fight Club. It's your boy, Richie Fike. And I'm here with my beautiful wife. Oh, if you could see her. I mean, at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, the girl looks fine.
You're not kidding this bad.
Come say hi to the people, Dana, before you go to bed. Come say hi.
Come say hi. We love you.
Just say hello right in the microphone. Speak up now.
Speaking to him.
We are recording. This is dead air.
Hello.
Get in here.
Get in here.
Hello.
What has been your favorite part about us having a podcast so far, just as a beginning of the show?
I learned something new each time about Justice Fike.
Oh, and that's what you like?
Yeah.
Could you tell us something new about you tonight that maybe the listeners don't? One thing the listeners don't already know about you.
I don't know.
They know everything?
I don't know.
How about this? What's
I'm a
one
private person.
What's one
It's
interesting
private.
What's one interesting fact that some people might know, but that one interesting fact about you?
Oh, you can't just do that to me. I have to prepare for this.
No preparation. What is it?
Come on.
I don't
How about
know.
this? Tell us this. What has been the thing for the last week or two that you've been obsessing about that's soon to be a part of the Fike family?
Oh, I'm getting a sheepadoodle.
Oh, what? You can't be saying oh.
I'm paying for it.
This is great consternation because part of the reason that I now have a studio in my house is because we're getting a sheepadoodle. We, by the way, are getting a sheepadoodle, not you.
I'm getting one.
Ow. This is why the dog's leaving in 6 months.
And the whole point of this thing was that it was going to be Justice's sheepadoodle.
It can be, yes.
But then why did you just say I'm getting a sheepadoodle?
Because I'm having to give up my money for the sheepadoodle.
Okay, listeners, just so you know, we have split accounts. We don't have the same. We got different spending accounts. That's why I have shoes and she has a sheepadoodle.
Yeah.
And what are we naming this sheepadoodle?
I did not name the sheepadoodle.
Right, who names all
the reason why
Yeah.
is because Fike does not like animals.
That's true. By and large,
so-
I'm not a fan of animals.
And so he...
Well, hold on. I like animals, just not
just let me talk.
not in my house.
Okay. And so we just let him name the animal so that he can connect with them. If he
Right.
doesn't name the animal, then the animal maybe will last 6 months in the house.
Yeah.
That's not the common rule, by the way.
You
He
don't,
did not name Chance or Molly.
I
Where
did.
are they at right now?
Who named
What you're
Chance?
saying right now is the
Where are they at?
only reason that they're gone is because not we were bad owners,
I'm
but
just
because
saying.
he didn't name.
Check the stats.
I'm just saying.
Check the stats.
That's all I'm saying.
No, what happens is the dog doesn't feel a connection to me. And if he doesn't feel a connection to me, then he's out. That's the way it rolls.
It kind of rolls that way. So we decided, me and Justice, that Fike could name the dog, the sheepadoodle.
Right. And so what is the name of the dog?
The name of the dog is either Serena or Farina. Because
that's
Judah
what-
calls it Farina.
That's what Judah calls it, Farina. I kind
I
of
thought
like...
she was going to say Beyonce.
Well, it's not... No, it's... But we're going to call her Riri.
But we're calling her Riri because we have a cha-cha. We have a Riri and a cha-cha.
Yeah. And
So,
we named her after my very favorite tennis player.
/
The greatest...
celebrity crush.
P.S. The greatest American tennis player alive. Fight me.
We don't
I
know.
mean-
I have no clue.
Okay, well, she is.
There's
I
that
guess it's
American
true.
guy that's like top 10.
No, Tiafo is not better than...
Tiafo could beat Serena.
That's the truth. That's the
like
truth.
at all times. Like not Andre.
Well, John
Agassi or-
McEnroe said the worst professional tennis player, male, could beat the best female tennis player.
That's exactly correct.
So, Charlie agreed.
And I agree with that.
All right, so, and you're very excited about Riri coming to the house.
I'm very excited.
Are you excited about training Riri? Because I don't think you are.
Yes, I have. We've done some research.
You're not.
I'm excited about it.
Okay. Listeners, we're going to keep you updated. Dana, thank you so much. Gosh, you look good. 10 o'clock at night. How do you do it? Huh?
What's your secret?
I look good every
What's
minute
it
of
like?
the day.
It's an audio format, but I can just tell you that my wife is looking just right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of awkward when we have
Wait a minute.
Justice here.
He needs to know about this. Let the boy watch.
I'm gonna walk away, please. I'm walking
Can you
away.
feel it in my plums? All right. We love you, Dana.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Justice.
Okay, now on to the real beginning of the episode of the Fight Club. That was just a foray. Is it foray? Foray? Foray, I think is the way you say it. Into our little home and our sweet matriarch, the Mrs. of the Fike legacy.
Yeah.
Mrs. Dana Fike. Listen, we're not gonna mince words tonight. We're gonna get right into the movie of the week. I forced Justice Fike to come see a movie with me tonight. P.S. I'm gonna just drop some names because there's a bunch of punks out there that were scared to see a certain movie. People like Ryan Kyle, Cameron Sanderson, Nathan Gustafson, Trace Hicks, all scurred with like some U's and some capital R's. But anyway, we're going to get to the movie of the week, and the movie of the week is The Invisible Man.
The movie of the week.
Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies, see the movies. Fight Club at the movies. Movies, see the movies. Don't sleep on the Goonies. Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies. Movies.
The movie of the week.
All right, I was so excited about this movie because when I saw the preview, I was like, oh, snap. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, but they did. And so, Justice, I think at your core, you're like a very wholesome, kind-hearted, rule-following, gentle soul. There's not violence in you until there's anger in you, but I think that you would probably punch a wall, but I don't think you'd ever hit a person. I can't imagine you hitting a person.
Thanks, man. That really encourages my football career.
Yeah, but even in football, you're wearing pads, and you're, as an offensive lineman, more often than not, you are protecting.
Not in high school.
You're attacking?
Yes. We're running the ball more than passing the ball.
Oh, because you're running. So if you were passing, you'd be more protecting. But since you're running, you're trying to create holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get up on the mic, dude.
Okay.
I can't hear you, bro.
Right. Sorry.
Plus, your voice is gone.
My voice is gone, by the way, because the SCS women's team happened to win a state championship.
Well, okay, spoiler alert. We're going to get to that in sports, but, I mean, gosh.
I thought we were just going to...
Oh, my gosh.
I thought we were talking about earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so, anyway, I say all that about you. Number one, because I'm a big fan. Number two, because you're kind of a punk when it comes to seeing scary movies.
Exactly.
You're kind of like a scaredy cat. So I had to force you. I'd like for you to tell the listeners, before we even get into a moment of conversation about this terrific film, I'd like for you to tell the loyal Fight Club listeners what your, quote, plan, unquote, was heading into the movie that you whispered to your mom before we left and that I busted you on before the previews were over. Why don't you go ahead and share with the listeners what your, quote, plan, unquote, was?
It would have worked if you weren't looking at me 30 seconds. But my plan was to put on a podcast, the Bill Simmons podcast, and listen to it instead of watching the movie. Go to sleep.
This fool popped in his AirPods as the movie began and leaned back in the chair and closed his eyes. And I'm like, hey, bruh, I paid $9.75 for your seat. You better wake up. You better watch. You better catch this film.
And he took one of them.
That's right. I confiscated one of your AirPods. I don't know how it works. I tried to turn it off. I don't know if it worked.
They don't turn. They immediately turn off as soon as you take them out the ear.
See, it worked then. Haha, success.
The joke on you was I immediately disconnected that one and I put the second one back in the ear.
So you did listen to a podcast?
Duh.
The whole movie?
No, for like the first 30 minutes.
Because you were legit scared.
Oh my
I was
gosh!
not scared.
You were.
I was scared when something happened around the midway point. That was it.
Listen, I'm saying walking down the stairs to the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
There was fear in your heart about this movie. I didn't get. Listen, to me, the only thing scary is things that are possibly real. So, like, I'm never gonna ever, not for any reason ever, see a movie that's about demonic presence or like demonic inhabitation. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you were so spooked by that one film a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, that one where at the very end it was like all about Satan worship. I was like, what? I watched 2 hours of this and didn't even know it. Anyway, yeah, I don't really always love scary movies, but I like thrillers, and to me this was more of a thriller than a scary movie.
Yeah.
A
lot better than the crocodile film.
I don't know how you even categorize that. I guess it's horror.
I mean, a crocodile trying to eat you. Okay, I get the point. But a crocodile trying to eat you, not as fun to watch than a man creeping up behind him. You know what? Next point.
Yeah, okay, so the point is, you tried to, game the system by bringing stupid AirPods to a movie. Here was the point. I was going to sit on the opposite side. You said people were coming, so my plan was, okay, we have 4 seats. I'm going to sit on the far left. Unreal.
I'm going to have him sit on the far right. And I'm going to put it in. I'm going to go to sleep. But then we sat next to each other, and you already had a diversion because my seat didn't work.
Oh, yeah. That worked out great.
So you were already, looking at it.
I was on to you.
You were on to me because I let it slip that I had a plan.
I don't understand the way you think. It's so sad. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about Invisible Man. Number one, first question, was it scarier than you thought? Less scary than you thought? You went in with amazing amounts of fear and trepidation.
That's a lie.
Okay. Well, who plans to listen to Bill Simmons while sneakily not watching a movie? Come on, dog.
Me.
Because you were what?
I didn't want to watch the film.
Because you were what?
Because you forced me to go to the movie.
Why didn't you want to watch it? Because you were what?
Because I did not want to watch the movie.
Why are you evading?
Because I was in a sleepy mood.
You want answers? I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Son, we live in a world that has walls. And those walls are protected by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? Nope. Anyway. All right. You were scared. And I need you to say on the microphone to the people, without fiddling with things, that you were scared. Come on, let me hear it.
I was a little bit timid.
Oh, my soul. Using synonyms. Look at you, 9th grade. Okay, educations. All right. So let's get into the movie. So scarier or less scary than you thought it was?
As a timid human, it was not that scary.
There you go. Not as scary. Suspenseful.
Suspense.
See?
A whole lot.
Right. Thrilling.
Thrilling.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Good film.
Yeah. I really, I'll spoil it right now for you. I loved it. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was terrific.
Wow.
I've seen 3 movies this year. It was the best one I've seen. No, it wasn't. Little Women was still best. Still best.
Not the movie that won all the Oscars?
That was last year. I saw that last year. Yeah, Parasite.
Not the movie that we saw the first day of the year?
Little Women.
No, the first day.
You and me saw a movie?
Me, you, and Mom.
What did we see?
On Amazon Prime, Adam Driver.
Oh, that was last year.
No, that was the beginning.
No, I don't care. I'm talking about a release date? In theaters, okay?
Okay.
In theaters. Good night, Irene. It's the 3rd degree over here. All right. Okay, so let me ask you our normal movie questions. Number 1. Justice, tell us the basic plot of the film. P.S. Listeners, we're going to spoil it. We're going to spoil everything from this point on. If you don't want to know what happens in The Invisible Man, don't listen to anything further, and then come back and listen to our reviews after you've seen it. Otherwise, we're going to tell you what we liked and didn't like about the movie. Starting now. You've been warned. What was the basic plot of the movie, Justice?
Before we get to that, also, remember, there is timestamps where you can skip to the next part.
Yeah, we'll tell you where that is. It'll be in the notes.
Go there. All right, back. So, woman doesn't like marriage. Marriage bad.
They weren't married.
I thought they were married.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They weren't married.
Sorry.
Okay.
Not married. Bad relationship. Abusive relationship.
Yeah.
She leaves. Dude, breaks into a thingamabobber car, and then like you see this pill thingy, but you don't really know what it is, and then like you cut to like them being at a house, and now he's with a family. I don't know what you're doing. I honestly don't know what you're doing, but
it's painful to hear you use words like thingamabobber.
I'm sorry,
Painful.
I'm sorry, I don't read a Euphoria.
A Euphoria? What?
I don't read
A dictionary.
a dictionary. What's the thing at the back of like textbooks that starts with an E?
What?
Oh, I forgot what it's called. But it's like
You mean a syllabus?
no, it's at the end of your textbook,
Oh, I haven't had a textbook in a minute.
and it starts with an E,
It does.
and then like it has all the words,
Oh.
and it goes like EU, but I don't know the rest of the word. I was gonna use it.
Oh, what are
but
you
then-
talking about right now? That's gonna drive me crazy the rest of tonight. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be like in the middle of 3 a.m. I'm gonna wake up and say the word and go back to sleep.
Yeah,
don't know
no,
what
you're
you're
just
talking
gonna
about.
call me at 3 a.m. and be like, "That was the word."
You won't answer. Your phone's off. It'll be dead.
Probably.
Okay.
But
Come back to it. Thingamabobber. By that you mean a bottle. There was a bottle of pills.
bottle of pills.
Yes.
So they cut to the next scene. You find out her boyfriend is dead, but
Apparently committed suicide.
surprise, he's not dead, and she gets $4 million over the next 4 years.
It was 5.
No,
It was $5 million.
okay. I still have my AirPod.
See, help me, Jesus. Help me with this child.
And next, they had the opportunity to get the money. She took it. Then she helped the dude's little girl, to go to her dream college. And I don't remember what that college is, but
They made it up.
oh, it was a made-up college.
Yeah.
Okay. So after that, they go into dude starts attacking her because, bad guy. You find out later on.
Well, it's like subtle things first.
Yeah, subtle things.
Like he almost burned the house down on a bacon pan. Mm-hmm. He turned up the heat on the bacon pan while she went to the bathroom or something. She comes back and it's like on fire. That was wild. And that moment where he picked up that knife and the knife's floating in the air.
Yeah.
What?
Like, nah, bro, I'm good.
Crazy.
And then after that, he sends an email to his sister.
Right, to her sister.
To her sister, sorry. And it pretty much says, "You're dead to me. Like, you don't deserve to be in my life." And then after that, it goes to where they're like, "Oh, but I didn't do that." And then it's like, okay. So she flees. So then she goes back. She's crying about it. And then the dude slaps the little girl. And then she gets in a big fight with the invisible person.
And that was the scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Didn't you think? Mm-hmm. That was like oh my gosh. There's this moment where Elizabeth Moss, who is so good in everything she does, she's the woman, the lead character in the movie. She basically has like an invisible fight with the dude. And there's a moment where he lifts her up by the neck, lifts her up in the air. And so all you can see is her. And like, she's like in midair with her neck up in the air and like flailing. And then she goes to try to stab him. The knife gets thrown out of her hand. He pushes her up against the wall. Now they're on the ground. Scramble, scramble, scramble. It was crazy.
Yeah. It was a great scene. And then she runs away, and then she goes over and she finds this invisible suit. So she
She goes back to his house, sneaks back into his house.
Yeah.
The millionaire dude's house. And it turns out that he's this inventor, and he's created, this is like super spoiler here, but he's created a suit. So the guy's not dead. He's created a suit that allows him to appear invisible, which I thought was a nice twist on the Invisible Man, because I think actually, like way back when the first Invisible Man came out, the dude really was invisible. And like he would wear like bandages on his face. I don't know if you noticed that moment in the hospital when the guy's being wheeled out of the gurney and he's laying there and he's got bandages all over his face. That was kind of an allusion to the way the Invisible Man used to look, because like he was like an ongoing character, you know. And then the only way you'd ever see him is when he was bandaged up, and then he would unbandage, so you could never see him. But this dude figured out how to create a suit that would allow him to be invisible, which was really cool, I thought.
Yeah.
It was like a nice twist, because it was actually, I mean, this is going to sound stupid saying it out loud, but it was almost plausible.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't impossible.
Yeah, it was like almost, oh, wow, okay, yeah, maybe. Kind of a deal. So
what I thought in the beginning was those pills. He just like took a bunch of them. Instead of killing him,
right,
they just made him invisible.
Yeah, like there was some secret to the pills.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But it turns out the reason that the pills were a part of the story is because the way that she escaped him initially was by drugging him with those pills so that he would sleep through the night so that she could get out of there. Yeah. That was the whole point.
And then after that, where were we? And then the most shocking part of the film.
Wait, now, yeah. So for real, spoiler alert. This part that you're about to talk about, I wasn't ready for it. And honestly, let me say this before we say anything else. This is not a kids movie.
Yeah.
Not a kids movie. I really think this is one of those like where it says PG-13. I don't know. If you're like a super mature 13-year-old and you can handle violence, okay. Because there wasn't any sexuality. There was only 2 or 3 little cuss words in there. There was a lot of violence. And then there was moments of like really, really explicit, bloody gore. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, oh, that was a lot.
Yeah.
And it happens twice. I don't think we should talk about it. I don't think we should talk about it. But the 2 times that it happens, it's like so stunning that you're like, what? Right? And I don't even think you understood what happened the second time. The first time you're like, whoa. The second time you're like, what? Right?
The second time I was like, did this person or this person.
Right. Who was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's not give too much more away. But let me ask you some of the other questions we always ask. What was your favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Probably the fight scene, the first fight scene.
Yeah.
But the most gory scene is the scene that we were talking about.
It's probably the one you'll remember about the movie. Right?
I will always remember that.
Yeah.
Whenever talking about it.
It's kind of one of those things where you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that hallway scene.
The hallway? Yeah, that was really cool.
That was crazy because it was like half visible, half not. And he's like fighting with these cops. That was really cool. Who was the best character in the movie?
The dad.
The dad?
Yeah.
Oh, the cop.
Yeah, the cop dad.
That she lived with. Yeah, he was cool. Dude was yoked.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Was that Idris Elba?
No. I don't know that dude's name, but he's doing things the right way. Sorry, that sounded strange. Okay, ready for this?
Yes.
Where do you recognize the Bible in the story?
Ooh.
Where do you recognize the Bible in the story?
Oh, I did not remember this was a question. I could have thought of this.
I have a very fun answer for this, but keep going.
Man, I'm stumped.
Think about it.
I'm really stumped.
Our hero in the story.
Jesus.
No, we're not talking about the Bible.
Oh,
The movie, Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Our hero in The Invisible Man, who is it?
The lady.
Cecilia.
Yes, Cecilia. I forgot her name.
Who is she fighting against?
Adrian.
Right, but her enemy is invisible.
Yeah.
Can't see him.
Ah.
Oh,
I see.
You see where I'm headed?
I see where you're going with this.
We fight against powers and principalities. We don't fight against, with swords and shields. We fight against powers and principalities and spirits.
Uh-huh.
And they're not visible.
Dun, dun, dun.
We fight the invisible man every day of our lives.
Oh, my
You
goodness.
see what happened there?
Bada bing, bada boom.
What I'm trying to tell you is there's only one story
It's the story.
of the Bible.
Boom.
See what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm trying to teach you something. Every time I see sometimes when I take you to see a movie, there's a little hidden agenda.
I know.
Yeah. And then sometimes I just happen upon one by accident and act like I thought about it the whole time. You'll never know. You'll never know which it was. You will never know. You never know. Okay. What do you think the major theme of the movie is? That's interesting. Because honestly, it was a very very hashtag Me Too, hashtag, cancel culture. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of those themes in it, right? Like women's lib, kind of freeing women from ugly and dysfunctional relationships, right?
I think there's two themes. One, if you're in a bad relationship, get out.
Yeah.
And two, I just lost it. Go to you.
No, keep going.
No, this is rude.
You had two.
I had two.
What happened to it?
But I happened to lose one. I don't know. I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Women's rights, very good.
Way to use your words, buddy. So proud of you. They say the adolescent male, the synapses don't fire like they used to. Okay. If this movie were made... No, Are
you not going to say your things?
No, I said cancel culture, Me Too, women's lib, abusive relationships. There was some... and then that whole thing about fighting against the invisible. What does it look like when you're up against something and nobody else can understand what you're up against but you, and you try to explain it to people and they think you're crazy? Yeah.
The one that I forgot was mental health.
Mental health, right? That's another one, right?
That was the one that I thought and then I forgot.
Because, by all rights, she looked crazy.
Oh, yeah, she was crazy.
Well, no, she wasn't crazy.
She was crazy.
No, she wasn't crazy.
Let's be honest here. She definitely had some form of mental illness.
No, she didn't. What she was experiencing was real.
I understand.
It's what everybody thought. Now, if you're saying that it seemed like she was...
No, I'm saying she most likely had PTSD with all of that happening.
Okay, sure. She was absolutely being abused.
Yeah.
She's mentally abused, but I don't think that makes her mentally ill.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
Chill out on my girl Cece. All right, cool. Anything else you want to say about the movie?
Good film. Please, no more horror films.
Why? We got
it.
coming up. Quiet Place 2 coming out real soon.
When? March 23rd?
I don't know. Quiet Place 2 looks great.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
See, you like scary movies.
I do. I like sensible ones.
See, but when I was growing up, you know what scary movies were when I was growing up? It was Friday the 13th. You know who that is?
Yes.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
That dude. I never understood why the man had a breathing problem.
Just like me.
He's in a hockey mask. He can't breathe. That should have been the whole point. If somebody would help the man with a respirator, maybe he wouldn't be out any murdering people. But anyway, so that's Jason. And then we had Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger.
And then Saw.
No, Saw was in I was probably in my 30s when Saw happened. But you know what the ultimate was? And man, shout out to my boy Chico. We watched this movie. I think it was here's what they did. They did a movie called Friday the 13th, and I don't remember which part it was. Maybe 11 or 12. I mean, they made 100 of those movies. And then at the very, very end of this terrible movie, here's what happened. All of me and Chico's buddies were telling us, you have to watch this movie and watch it all the way to the end. And we're like, okay, whatever. And so we watched the whole thing, and it was stupid. It was nothing. It was called Jason Goes to Hell. That was the name of the movie, okay? So we're like, oh, wow, like, is the devil going to be in it? Like, we didn't know. And this is pre-internet, so there's nothing, you can't research. You just go rent the movie at Blockbuster. So we rented it. Do you even know what Blockbuster is? Do you remember?
I've been at Blockbuster. I got my first Pokemon game there.
Okay, so we rent the movie, we watch it. And listen, I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for anyone, but at the very end of Jason Goes to Hell, there's this moment where his mask is like on the dirt or on the ground or something, and it's like it's fading to black, and then right as it is about to fade to black, out of the ground pops Freddy Krueger's hand. Now, these two characters have never been in the same movie together. It was always Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. And so at this crazy moment, like, his hand pops out of the ground, grabs the mask, and pulls it down to hell with him. And I remember me and Chico, we were like, I don't know, we were sitting on the couch watching it and kept telling each other, I mean, this is just a real bad movie. It's just real bad. And then right when that moment happened, here comes the hand out of the ground,
How did
grabs
you know it's Freddy Krueger's?
because he's got the fingertip blade deals.
Yeah.
And when it happened, me and Chico both went, ah! For like, no kidding, solid 5 or 7 minutes.
You totally just burned somebody's eardrum, by the way.
Sorry about that. We fell on the ground, screaming, yelling, rewinded it, paused it, look at it, it's Freddy. It was so, and we're like freshmen or sophomore in college, like we're idiots, total idiots. And then the next thing you see is coming soon, Freddy versus Jason. And they put out a movie where it was Freddy Krueger versus Jason Voorhees.
Who won?
I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
But I can remember it being stupid, 100% stupid, and us really feeling like, no, dude, this is epic. It's going to be amazing. And it was one of the worst movies maybe of all time. But so what I'm saying is we didn't have good horror films growing up. We had like campy, like stupid movies, you know? And like, I don't know. And now all the horror movies are all like a dark spirit is taking over this little doll.
It's very weird.
And there's a doll in the house and it's possessed and there's nothing you can do. I mean, sorry, the
doll's possessed.
The doll's going to kill you. So I guess get your, finances in order.
Jesus.
Like, hey, what if we moved? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What if we didn't live here?
I got an idea. Airbnb. Like, let's move out.
Burn it.
Seriously. Whenever those movies come on, I'm like, this is stupid.
Exactly.
I don't like that. Plus, I kind of believe that it could happen, which is another reason why I don't want to see it. Because I remember one time, were you with us in Maryland? Yes, you were.
Yes.
Do you remember that house that we stayed
Yes.
in Maryland? And it was an Airbnb, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. And they had an emu farm. Remember that?
It was not my type of place.
Who has an emu farm in Maryland? These people.
They had good food, though. Good food.
Food was good. That's the place. Do you remember this? That's the place where this lady she had to be in her 80s or 90s. She was the matriarch of the home. And early in the morning, we all got up because she cooked us breakfast. And she was telling a story about when she was a child. And she said, you were what, 5th grade? 4th grade?
4th, 5th.
Okay, so she's telling a story about when she was a child and the phone would ring. And right when she said something about the phone ringing, you said, is that when phones were invented? I remember Chase and Michael were both like, what? What did you just say? But you couldn't laugh because she took everything so seriously. And she was like, no, phones had been around for quite some time. And I think I slept through the whole thing. Like I wasn't trying to get up and eat breakfast. And she made weird breakfast, like a boiled egg inside of another egg with a thing around it.
Look, that first day's breakfast was good.
All I'm trying to tell you is, in a house like that where they had random dolls dressed.
Oh yeah, there was dolls everywhere.
Oh, and they were all like cockeyed and looking at you funny. I was like, no, that doll can't stay in this bedroom. That's Annabelle. I can't have Annabelle staying in this bedroom. No, thank you. So anyway, all that to say, we didn't have scary movies that were any good as a kid. And so I'm trying to educate you that you can see a suspenseful movie. The movie you've never seen that you need to see is Get Out.
Get Out?
Get Out's great.
Yeah. I don't know why y'all didn't let me see that.
I think you were too young at the time, but you're ready now. You're ready now. All right, man. What a wild and crazy ride we've had.
Wow. What an amazing adventure.
Okay, it's time for you to judge this movie since we've gone off topic. But the question that we always ask is, how many Fikes on a scale of 1 to 5 Fikes? How many Fikes do you give The Invisible Man?
If I had to give this, I would give it a non-linear line of 5, in parentheses, 2x.
What? Is this like some algebra stuff?
Yes.
So what does it mean? 5, parentheses, 2x? What does it mean? You give it a 2.5?
No, it's an increase. So it would equal 2.5.
So you give it a 2.5?
No. I was joking.
Okay. So what is your score?
4.
You give it a 4. 4 Fikes. Listen, best movie I've seen all year. Well, no, Little Women.
Well, no,
Little Women was real good.
Okay.
You wouldn't like it.
Exactly.
But I liked it. I really like Little Women. It touched me. All right, we'd love to hear what you thought about The Invisible Man, if you thought about it at all, if you have the guts to go and sit through it and be scared, unlike my son who wears AirPods to a movie because he thinks it's going to help him. I looked over. I can't believe
I couldn't hear a single thing.
Let me tell you something. That's my wife's son right there in that moment. That is my wife's son.
You know, when you looked over and started talking to me, I was like, do I just keep going with it?
Okay, let me tell you what gave him away. Just before we finish, he was breathing real hard. This was him. And that's how I knew he had his headphones on, because he couldn't hear himself breathing. I looked over and said, "You're breathing hard." And he went, ha, ha, like that. I said, and I looked at his ear. I could see one little white light shine. And I said, "Give me the AirPod. What you doing, boy? You ain't slick.
I was trying to do this.
One thing that I love about you, Justice, is I think you're incapable of deceit. Or at least you're incapable of not getting busted. You're going to get busted when you try to lie. Your voice scale's real high whenever you try to lie. And what else do you say? What's your thing that you say when you're lying? Yeah. When you're lying, you always go, okay.
It's my tell.
Okay. It's your tell. Yeah. All right. So, listeners, tell us what you thought about Invisible Man. We're going to get into some other subjects as we get into our further elements of the show. We're going to talk a little bit about sports, a little bit about things we've learned. But we want to hear from you at the Fight Club, Instagram, Twitter. And you can email us. Man, the email box has been pretty light lately, so we want to get some emails from you. thefikeclub@gmail.com. Come on, give us your thoughts, give us your questions, and we'll holler at you. So for now, we're going to get into our next segment, and that is sports.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
McCarron lost the ball. If the Broncos recover, they win. Ware's on it, and the Broncos are in the playoffs.
What I'm saying is the rhetoric, the drivel, the blasphemy coming out of the mouths of you two. Y'all need to calm down and be patient. Like New York Knicks fans have no reason to be frustrated.
Glenn, what a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
Another play fake by Burrow, and a deep strike, and an open receiver. Jamar Chase, another touchdown.
In every season, I love to talk about. Don't need a reason, I'm steady thinking about. Behind the scenes and what we gon' see on that TV screen. I'm talking about the chasing glory, to try to reach the top. The deeper story, the journey never stops. It's never boring to see a champion chase his dreams. I love to talk about.
Brad, I'm going to ask you a question. Can you have 2 Heisman moments in 1 year? I think after 60 years ago when Billy Cannon won it, I think we just saw the next Tiger to win it in 2019.
Still brings me great joy to hear him talk about our Tigers winning a championship and about Joe Burrow winning the Heisman. Still brings me great joy. Why don't we talk about Joe Burrow for a minute? Because you told me something interesting. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
You really believe that Joe Burrow will not be a Cincinnati Bengal?
No way. No way. There's absolutely no form where I think he is committed to the Bengals. One, because his, if you didn't know, he is a passing coordinator right now in the offseason, and that is Carson Palmer's little brother. If you know what Carson Palmer's belief is on the Bengals, you would know he does not like the Bengals. He is force-feeding Joe Burrow Bengals propaganda, which is in fact correct. So I think he will not be going to the Bengals.
Where will he go?
Anywhere but the Bengals.
Okay, but come on, bold prediction time.
Bold prediction, if Tom Brady is actually gone, Patriots might move up to either go get Tua, Herbert,
wait a second.
Love, or Burrow.
You think the Patriots are going to go get Burrow?
You said bold prediction.
Yeah, but I didn't say bold fantasy island.
My fantasy island is my Broncos taken, but
What
we
pick
got Drew Lock.
What pick did they have?
15. We're going to take Henry Ruggs.
He's fast.
He is. Real fast.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be who we take. But
Who's winning the NFL Combine so far?
NFL Combine, probably Ruggs, since he is really fast.
Who was the guy that did all the bench presses? Did you see that?
The punter?
Yeah. He did.
Dude, that punter is jacked.
Well, didn't he do? How many did he do?
17.
17.
225.
How many can you do? 225.
Probably one at most.
I feel that way too. If you could do one, I can do two. How about that?
Why don't we go to the Y?
Oh, and we'll video it for the show.
We'll videotape it, and then we'll post it on YouTube.
I don't want to put you on blast like that, my dude. I love you too much to embarrass you out here in these streets. All right, so Joe Burrow's going to the Patriots. You heard it here first.
That's not what I said. I said there's a chance.
I think we should wager on this.
About what's the wager?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I'll win.
Well, tell me the wager. I'm going to win. I don't know what this blasphemy is, as Stephen A. said, but
the rhetoric, the blasphemy.
he has to look at the dictionary and be like, "This is my word for today. I'm getting it into the show."
He is so funny. I love him. Okay, no, I don't want to bet you. Whatever, you come up with the terms. I will agree to a bet. You come up with the terms, like slime on the face or something.
Well, how about this?
Yes.
We have to grab a bunch of slime.
Okay, where are we getting slime from?
Judah, let's be honest.
Okay.
And we have to throw it at each other's foreheads.
Why?
For me, if Joe Burrow does not go to the Bengals,
no.
I win.
No.
I win.
See what he did? He said you heard it. I know, listeners, you heard it. He said he's going to the Patriots.
You said come up with any
and
terms.
then the bet turns out if he doesn't go to the Bengals, no, he has to go. For you to win the bet, he has to go to the Patriots.
Well, I'm not taking that bet.
You can put slime all over my face if he goes to the Patriots. You believe in it. You told the listeners to believe in it.
I'm like most people on ESPN. I just say something.
You could be a professional.
Exactly.
You just say things. You don't have a long career if you do that, though. If you're just out here saying things. Who's the guy that said LeBron was definitely staying in Cleveland and then he went to Miami? What's that guy's name?
Chris Broussard?
Chris Broussard. And where is he now?
He's doing First Things First.
On FS1. And who's watching it?
800K Americans.
Compare that to ESPN.
The Get Up show gets barely 1.1.
What? You're making things up. AEW.
No.
Okay, all right. Let's see. What else is going on in sports? We talked about the NFL Combine. Oh, can we talk for just a moment about what has happened in WWE?
Sure. Because
I'm outraged.
I am too.
I'm appalled.
I am disgraced.
I'm bamboozled.
I don't understand.
Yeah. In case you're wondering and you don't know what happened, last Thursday at something called what?
Super Showdown.
Super Showdown, which happens in Dubai, India.
I thought it happened in
Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, you're right. Bill Goldberg, who is 322 years old, beat The Fiend with a jackhammer.
That was definitely not a jackhammer.
The weakest suplex I've ever seen.
Exactly.
And The Fiend lost. And then on Friday, The Fiend challenged John Cena at WrestleMania. I'm out.
I'm done.
I'm off.
Yep.
I'm off this. No thank you.
Yeah.
That's the end of that topic. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Because they're giving Roman Reigns a title.
Yeah.
This is their way of hot-shotting the title on Roman Reigns by having him beat Goldberg. Mm-hmm. And I'm not with it. I'm out.
And at SummerSlam, you get The Fiend losing to Roman Reigns.
More out. How more out can you be? I'm out.
You can be outside of the universe.
I'm going to watch it, but I'm off.
Let's be honest. We're all going to watch it.
I can't. I hate it. I'm frustrated.
Yeah, very frustrating. But good news.
Yeah.
The SCS women's basketball team.
Here we go. Let's talk in great detail about this because listeners all across the planet are so fascinated to hear about this. But go ahead. Southwest Christian School, right here in Fort Worth, Texas. What is the size of our school?
I don't know.
It's not a 5A. What is it?
It's 5A. District 5A. TAPS 5A.
TAPS 5A.
So we're the second highest in TAPS.
But like, how big is your class?
We have nearly 100.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So 100 people per class. You guys won the women's
basketball
state Texas championship.
Yes.
Did they do like a national thing? Is there a national tournament?
Not for TAPS. Just TAPS. It's not like
They do that for 5A though.
Yeah, for like
if you win the state championship, you go into a tournament and play against the other 50 states.
Not here. Not because in private school leagues, it's different leagues in each state instead of just like this is the universal version of how sports works.
Yeah.
So for public schools, yes. Private schools, I'm pretty sure no.
Okay. Yeah. But it's the pinnacle. Mm-hmm. You guys went out to. How about this? I've never heard of this. There's a town close by Waco, and the name of the town is West.
Yeah.
That's where you were?
Yeah.
So when you told me we're driving out to West Texas, and then I was like, okay, where? And you go, it's West Texas. I was like, I understand, but like, what is the name of the town?
West Texas.
And you're like, we're going to West Texas. I said, child, I will slap you. And then it turns out there's a town called West Texas.
Yeah.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's like an hour 20 away.
And it's in Waco, which is not West Texas.
I know. Like, why would you name a city West? That's my question.
Why?
In the central Texas, we're out of names, guys. What do we go with? West.
Yeah.
West.
But we live in the East.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. Explain it to me.
I don't know.
It's I think Kanye named that town. I think Kanye came in and said, I got a great idea for a name of a town.
Kanye would do that.
He would. So that was cool. You went on Friday. You lost your voice.
Yeah, my voice is shot.
Yeah.
I've barely spoke the past 3 days.
Yeah, you sound beleaguered.
I sound like a dying animal.
Wow. Which one?
Wolf.
Aardvark.
That animal's. I've heard of the animal.
Yeah.
It's a very disgusting animal.
Right. It sounds like you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Not a disgrace.
I'm here to help. Educate yourself. Okay. What else? What else is happening in sports that you want to cover?
NBA. Big games happened.
Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Are we still the second seed?
Nuggets.
Yeah, let's not talk about that part.
I can't. There's been 2 straight nationally televised games by the Nuggets. Nuggets. I can't do it. I can't even muster. Nuggets. 2 straight televised games. One that we lost to freaking Jay Felker's Oklahoma City Thunder.
You must have rubbed that in so much.
I can't tell you how much it hurts me to think that we lost to Jay Felker's Thunder. It hurts me on a level that I can't quite articulate with words. You know, it's like there's a passage in Scripture where it says, "We speak in utterances and moans." That's how my spirit is. I don't have words. It's just, that's all it is as I think about that game. Utterances.
How much did he make fun of you that next day?
He was kind. He walked in. He kind of stood in the shadow of my door. He said, "How about that game?" I was like, "You know what, Jay Felker?"
I could beat you.
I love Jay Felker.
We dominate the Thunder in a playoff series, though.
I agree with you. But I will say, doggone it, if that team hasn't taken on the personality of Chris Paul.
That's true.
What a leader that kid is.
Did you see that Bleacher Report interview with Chris Paul and SGA?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it was hilarious. They went bowling, and it was a really good thing. You should go listen to it.
Tell me your take on this whole James Harden, Giannis Antetokounmpo situation.
James is wrong. Giannis can do everything in the game, and that's not because he's 7 foot. That's because he's put in the work. He's put in the work since he got to the league. He put in the work before he got in the league. I think he's definitely a top 10 most talented player of all time. And James Harden, you're wrong on this.
Wait, what did Harden say?
He said, "Well, I would be scoring that many points if I was 7 foot tall and could just dunk over everyone and was the most athletic person on the field."
Okay.
Or on the court. But he's wrong because Giannis can do so much more than that. And he dominates the court with not just dunking and being 7 foot tall.
I will say the one thing, I saw a clip and I don't remember how he worded it, but the one thing I agree with James Harden is the man has had to work to become the star that he is.
Yeah.
Not that Antetokounmpo doesn't work, but it is different. At his height, at his stature, and with his skill set, that man has put in a lot of time in the gym figuring out how to get open on a basketball court.
Oh, yeah. He's so good at that.
I mean, all you have to do is travel every time you get the ball.
All you have to do is just take 5 steps. You're open.
And he's open. And he's figured out a way to do it in a way that appears legal.
Exactly. That's the key.
However, have you ever noticed that when other people attempt to do the same moves that Harden does 30 times a game, they get called for a travel?
Yeah.
And they look at the referee like, but what about James?
But let's be honest here. Every NBA player, whenever there's a foul, they just look at you and are like, what are you doing? Even though it was the completely right call.
Yeah, they were talking about that in the Clippers game about how the Clippers versus Nuggets.
Let's not talk. No. Let's skip that.
But they were talking about in that game about how there are a few moments where players actually, when they get called for a foul, they will lift their hand and say, "Yes, I did it."
It's once in a lifetime stuff.
And they were like, and the next time it happens, we will draw attention to it. We will make sure that you see the replay of this player. And it turned out it was Pat Beverly. He fouled. He just grabbed a hold of one of the Nuggets. And when he did it, they called a foul, and he lifted his hand. And then 30 seconds later, he got called for an illegal screen, and he lost his mind on the referee. What are you talking about, illegal screen? And we're right back to normal. So.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
Yeah, I love the NBA.
NBA's fun. And then also the XFL, week 3, today, as of this recording, there was an all-time classic XFL game.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
The Dallas Renegades and the Houston Roughnecks played a great game.
This is our generation gap. This is it. I'm worried that this is the moment that our relationship could splinter.
Deteriorates.
It could splinter forever. right here at this moment. I'm
love of the XFL.
I'm actually worried about it. Like, I journaled about it.
I prayed for my son today.
Jesus.
He's watching the XFL.
Jesus, he's watching it again. Help him, Jesus. Invisible man, come do something for him, Jesus. And all of a sudden you look down and the remote's floating in the air and the buttons are turning.
The buttons are turning to just
and you're
normal
like, Dad, did you get a suit? I turn it on like classic Turner Sports. It's like a game from like 2001 or something. Anyway, all right. Yeah, go ahead, talk about it. Who's the best team in the XFL?
The Renegades.
Who cares? All right, let's move. Let's move on.
The Roughnecks.
The Roughnecks. What kind of a Quentin Tarantino name is that?
Well, they're pretty much the discount Houston Oilers.
Are they a Houston team?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Houston Roughnecks are number one. They're the best team. Who's their QB?
PJ Walker.
Okay, yeah, I've heard a lot. I've been just kind of gradually been hearing that he's been doing well. Okay, good. All right, well, I can't talk about the XFL or any more sports anymore. So let's move on to...
Bad week in sports for you.
Yeah, let's move on to some questions. What do you say?
Yes, sir.
And I have a question for everybody here tonight.
Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why you asking all these questions? Asking all these questions, why you ask so many questions?
And let me ask you something.
I got a question.
Let the games begin.
All right, we asked for it. You guys sent us some questions. Some of these are from last year. One of these is one that we never got to that I really like, is a good question for us to talk about. But, Justice, you said you had a personal question you wanted to talk about first. So go for it.
Do you think sweet old Serena will last?
Riri the Sheepadoodle
Yes.
will last in our home.
Yeah,
You just lost your headphones.
I did.
You know why?
Why? Because I'm fiddling with
Okay,
everything?
I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast, but Justice's nickname, if you ever see him in the streets, needs to be Fiddler on the Roof, or Fiddlesticks, or Dr. Fiddle, or Fiddle Faddle.
If you call me any of these, you are going to catch it.
Anything with fiddle, because the man cannot he can't sit still and not fiddle with something. Fiddle spinner, spittle finner. What was that? Spinner. What was it called?
Spinner.
Fidget spinner. Oh, that's perfect. I mean, the man can't. Every time he gets in my car, we're talking, and he's just like constantly opening and closing my glove compartment, and it's gonna break. And like, it's unbelievable. You're constantly finding new ways to break things.
New ways.
That's really what I always say to you is new ways.
Yeah.
That's your nickname, New Ways. Mm-hmm. So we got this like podcast desktop thing for you so that you could have, you know, a nice way to record, and you're finding new ways to fidget with it.
Yeah.
And it makes me crazy. All right. The question was Serena, our dog, Sheepadoodle. Will the dog last? What do you mean by last?
Will she be with us through my graduation?
It 100% depends upon you, sir.
Out of your estimates, yes or no?
Answer the question. You answer the question. Because your mother is not going to train this dog not to poop on the carpet.
And that's why he's not going upstairs, or she's not going upstairs.
Is Charlie going to go upstairs?
Yeah, because they're
You think that a Sheepadoodle is going to watch a poppy poo run upstairs and go, "Nah, I'm good."
No, because there's going to be a gate.
Wherever Charlie goes, Riri's going to go. Right? Is this true or false?
I'm pretty sure the plan right now is Charlie's going to sleep downstairs.
You are living... Yes, and Joe Burrow's going to the Patriots. Yeah. You're living on Fantasy Island.
That's what Mom told me.
Boss, the plane!
This is what Mom has told me.
The plane, boss!
This is
5 people got that joke.
This is what Mom told me. Charlie and Riri are going to be downstairs for the first 2 months.
I have some land in Florida I would like to sell you.
I will gladly take that land.
Drax, dude. You are living on Drax planet right now.
Okay.
Don't believe the hype.
This is what she's told me.
Okay. So let me share with you. This is how Serena will last. Do you want Serena to last?
Yes.
Would you like Serena to be a part of our family for a long time?
Yes.
You are going to have to be diligent about walking that dog 3 times a day.
Cool.
First thing you do when you get up, before you even wipe the cold out of my eye, to see who's this paging me and why.
Mom takes that.
The first thing you do, she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. You're going to have to do it. First thing you do, put on a robe. I don't care. The neighbor's going to have to see it anyway. Okay? Put on a robe and walk that dog. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then first thing you do when you get home, what do you think it is?
I can't because I have Judah. Because you leave me with Judah.
Y'all can go together. Judah can walk. He's got 2 legs.
That's true.
Okay? Don't worry about it. I'm just telling you right this moment, it will only work if you take ownership of this situation. She ain't going to do it.
Thank you. Now, are you going to give me the answer or are you going to keep ducking?
My answer is, it depends on you, bruh.
Nah, I need like a certain amount of time that you in your honest heart of hearts believe it'll work.
Yes, that dog will 100% be in our home if you 100% train it.
I need an actual answer. And so does Mom.
I've given you an answer.
This is not the answer.
You want answers?
I want answers. I can handle it.
You can't handle it.
I can handle the truth.
You can't handle it.
There is walls out there.
I eat breakfast 300 yards away from 4,000 poops who are trained to kill me. I'm not stepping in poop.
Okay.
Now, do you know the size of a sheepadoodle's poop?
I looked it up.
Let me tell you something. Charlie's poop is noticeable. Mm-hmm. Sheepadoodle, Serena's going to be dropping that wood. Okay? Listen, she is bringing it like it's never been brought. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, the first time I step and poop in a pair of Jordans in my house, that's strike 2 and 3. Okay?
What about 1?
What? We skipped it. We skipped strike. That's strike 2 and 3. Okay? Get on the hotline.
Maybe you should wear Jordans.
That dog's going to be on eBay quick.
You have so many Jordans, by the way.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, don't put me on blast like this.
No, I'm just saying I go up there and I'm envious.
I'm going to have to put a lock on it.
Look.
Don't be going up and lusting after my Jordans. You need a job.
Nah, I saw those, the black 6s.
Yeah?
Perfection.
Yes, they are. Do you know why they're perfection?
Because you don't wear them.
Because I don't wear them to random school like you. I bought you 6s for Christmas.
I've worn them 3 times.
Have you had a look at your Jordan 6s that I bought you?
3 times.
They look like you walked through Katrina.
3 times.
Yeah.
Well, I've worn them 3 times.
Well, that was 3 tours of duty that you went on.
Okay.
Okay.
I wore the shoes 3 times.
And did they smell? How did they smell?
Normal.
False.
You've never smelled my shoes?
They smell like Nicaragua.
How do you know what Nicaragua smells like? Have you taken a trip to Nicaragua?
Hey, easy. No, I have not taken a trip, but I know how it smells. You don't have to be somewhere to know how it smells.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
They smell like Juarez. I've been there. Okay.
So if I fact check this, will you owe me $100?
How are you going to fact check it? You going to walk yourself to Juarez and then just smell in the air and then put a shoe up to your face?
I can't smell.
You don't know what anything smells like.
Exactly.
That's why your room smells like it does. I walk in your room and like, how can you live like this? You're like what?
Yeah.
Smells great to me.
Smells normal.
Smells like modern fresh air. Speaking of which, this is a good question that I'll ask you. And this is from Bryce. Remember our buddy Bryce? He says, if you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which would it be?
Smell.
You've already lost it.
Exactly. And plus, smell is the least. Like, who cares about smell? Okay.
Did you know that your sense of smell dictates your sense of taste?
Yes, I know. And that's why I have a terrible taste. You know.
No, if you can't smell things, then you don't taste as much.
I know. That's why I don't taste as much.
Right, but you're afraid of food because you think it's not going to taste good.
That's just because I'm fat.
No, you're afraid of food because you think it's going to taste bad. But the fact is...
I'm also afraid of change.
Yes, but the fact is that were you to try some of those foods that you're afraid of, you probably wouldn't even taste them.
Exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
I don't know. I'm saying I'm nose blind.
Oh, gosh.
That's the technical term.
All right, so let's talk about it. So your 5 senses are what? Touch.
Yes, touch.
Sight.
I love touch.
Hearing.
I need all
smell and taste.
I'm telling you, if there's
Did I say sight?
Yes, sight.
Did I say sight?
Yeah.
Maybe touch isn't one of them.
Touch is one.
It is?
Yeah.
What are they? Touch?
So touch.
Sight.
Nose.
Smelling.
Ears.
Hearing.
Taste.
Yeah.
The one you would obviously want to lose is smelling. Because let's be honest here. Which one would you prefer? I mean, you obviously need to be able to see.
Here's what I think. Here's the one I right away I would say. And you know, it wouldn't be touch. You need touch.
Yeah.
I think it's taste. I think if I couldn't taste anything, then food would only be fuel. Right? And then I could eat the healthiest food possible every day. And I would lose 100 pounds because it's not about pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like eating food wouldn't be about pleasure. It'd just be about...
It would also help your bank account.
It would just be about feeding your body. So I could eat like chicken broth or whatever every day. Like, I don't know. I guess I could do that now, but I really enjoy the taste of good food.
Exactly.
Of tasty food.
This is why moving to Louisiana was the worst thing that ever happened.
It was bad news. When we moved there, I gained 30 pounds, and I haven't. I've only lost 5 of the 30 that I found.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever move to Louisiana, you're wanting to gain.
They cook butter with butter.
Exactly.
Yes, it's delicious. I wish
it's wonderful.
I'd like to go back.
It's beautiful.
As quickly as possible.
That people don't go there, you'll gain weight.
Yeah,
it's actually really good. Gain weight.
Oh my soul! Can you imagine going to the Chimes right this moment?
That would be beautiful.
Oh, the Chimes. All right. Well, hey, thanks everybody for your listener questions. Please hit us up with some stumpers. We'd love to hear what you think. That is it for the Fight Club. We've had a great time. Go see The Invisible Man. Let us know what you thought of it. Please tell us why Justice is wrong about Joe Burrow. We'd love to hear about that. And tell us which of your 5 senses you'd like to keep or like to lose. All that and more. We look forward to the next episode. We are going to watch The Social Network this week. We're kind of embarking upon a Aaron Sorkin journey together. We saw A Few Good Men and talked about that a couple weeks ago. And so we are going to watch Social Network this week. He's never seen it. And that's a travesty. So anyway, we love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. We had a great time talking. Hope you had a great time listening. We'll see you next time. Peace.